Far more can go.
Alright everyone, JB here, and we're back with another Dragon Ball Legends video on the channel today. Now today, we're going to be doing a tier list for every single Ultra in the game. Now we have, recently got Ultra UI, who is undoubtedly probably the best Ultra just unit in the game. The guy is insane. But before we talk about that, right, I want you guys also to keep in mind that Battle Hour is coming up later this month. So we are expected to see an Ultra just like last year. And also before that, we're getting the LF before that. So it's interesting to see how this tier list changes before and after. So do keep that in mind. Because we want to start off this tier list. First one of 2024 for me personally. I do need to start doing these at least once a month. And yeah, but as always, if you're new around here, consider leaving a like on the video and joining the channel. We're almost at 5K. It's crazy how fast we're getting to that goal. So I do appreciate all you guys. Now with this tier list, obviously it's going to be based on my opinions. So do keep that in mind. If you have your own opinions, your own feedback, leave a comment down below. I always read the comments. Sometimes I do respond to them, sometimes I don't. But feedback, your own opinions are much appreciated because not everyone's going to have the same, characters in certain tiers. Now, first things first, Janemba, he's straight to Z League. Now, in this tier right here, he's probably the second best character. So what we are going to do is, when I put certain characters in, different tiers, I am definitely going to move them around from first to second place, third place, and on forward, right? Now Janemba, not much needs to be explained about this guy. The guy has blast armor, he has the strike counter, and then he gets 2 ultimates, which is already insane. Now the only thing that I have, the only problem that I feel like a lot of people, and especially why Janemba has been pushed out of the meta, so to say, it's just his defense. He has no form of powering down blast arts or maybe reducing ki. He doesn't really have none of those defensive mechanics. Obviously he's an offensive character, but you want him to have something, because he doesn't have none of that really in his kit to help him a little bit. All he has mainly going for him is the blast armor, the 2 ultimates, the strike counter, and the ability to just, I think he does get card draw speed. And then he also has a bunch of different equips. He did also get his own plat equip, which most Ultras do get that when they drop. But yeah, he's gonna stay right there in the Z League tier for right now. Now another person I'm gonna look at really quick is Ultra Kaioken Goku. Boy, I gotta tell you, this guy has to be probably the most disappointing Ultra, because of how fast he just died out. Like it's insane how fast this guy died out. And when I say he died out, there's nothing. I mean, and then when he got the time of the release for this guy, because Kaioken Goku wasn't really just a bad unit. He was also one of those first Ultras to get over 100%, I think, damage inflicted. Yeah, 110%. So keep that in mind. He has some things going for him. The first of his class had that restore vanish with the unique gauge, so people were comboing green card gives you an extra card. And then look at the amount of look how many plat equips. Listen, when I say this guy died out, a lot of people would say it with me. He deserves to be in that C tier, probably worse. But since he has these many plat equips, which did not save him, no amount of plat equips can save this guy. The guy has, what is that? That is literally 12 plat equips that he has access to, which obviously a few of them are better than others, like this one right here. And then the new one that they did recently just gave to Yellow and Super Saiyan God Blue characters. But yeah, he deserves to be down there. there's nothing to talk about right here. Okay, so Ultra Vegito Blue. Literally just talked about this guy. Actually I probably didn't, but Toshi shafted me. The most favorite character for me in the game, and yeah, he shafted me. So it was disappointing that I didn't pull him. The only character that I wanted, and his kit will age like wine. He has so much. His kit utility is actually just, it's insane. He gets literally if you start with him or you enter the battlefield, takes away your vanish, so it guarantees you a free combo. Then unique gauge every time, and it fills up pretty fast. I think it's like 3 or 4 cards just to fill up, and every time you're filling it up, you're getting that damage. You're drawing a card. You're getting the special cover change notification, ultimate card, AoE damage to everybody. Green card literally counters almost every blast arts, well, not blast arts, but like blast arts, strike arts, different type of art cards, and it's insane. You know, his value has went up obviously because of Ultra UI. You see this guy a lot in the meta, and his value has went up recently because you don't see Janemba as much, because there is a few green units just lurking in the meta that's kind of just keeping Janemba, to his defense mechanics, you know, they're non-existent. So with him being pushed out, VB could be in the meta and roam free. He has also a Plaid Equip that this was like his own unique one, Fusion Warrior in red, that double defense, strike attack, and then the health and ultimate damage. And when I say that ultimate hits like a truck, trust me, that thing, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. But I don't think, but for me, probably I'm gonna rank him over Janemba. A lot of people are gonna come in the comments, well, you know, Janemba, he counters VB. We're looking at this from just unit basis. VB has more kit utility than Janemba, and then he also has some solid, you know, debuff effects where he also takes away, just to make sure before you move on, I believe he kills, there's like a buff effect for destroy cards, I think. Yeah, so he has this one right here, reduce Dragon Balls buff effect for 60 timer counts, and then also this one, destroy card, which that also plays a big role with a lot of like defensive or support units that do that. And he has some other things, but obviously, you know, we're not gonna try to go into full explanation about it. But next Ultra I'm gonna look at probably is Kid Buu. For me, I don't know. It's like I never used Kid Buu because I never pulled them. So I'm gonna probably put him right here. Now, like I just mentioned, the guy he was one of those, it's been what, 6-7 months? And literally he came like a month or two. The anniversary rolled around after, you know, that campaign buff for him, and he disappeared off the face of Dragon Ball Legends. Like, you don't see, even on regen, if you're a regen main, you'll probably run him, but you don't see him a lot. And you know, I didn't pull this guy because I never summoned for him. I skipped out on the banner, but he did have some pretty solid things going for him in his kit. You know, with him having that endurance, he gets card draw speed. I believe his, let me check. I believe his unique gauge gave him like health restore and all that stuff. So basically, he's restoring health, and then he gets more health. I could be wrong. Yep, it's right here. So if the positive falling effects, if unique gauge is full, he gets that damage inflicted, card draw speed like I just mentioned, reduce damage, and then also if the enemy's attack is over and his unique gauge fills up, there goes that health I was talking about. He destroys 2 cards, and he shortens, you know, substitutes count. But green card, his green card was also something really important for him, getting that AoE green card. I believe this is, could be wrong, but yeah, this is his personal just You know, like I said, almost every Ultra character has gotten a platform to go alongside them. But he has some access to some pretty solid equips. This Majin Buu equip, got this one right here, this Broly equip. So, you know, I feel like he got pushed out like horrendously. Like it wasn't even a joke, especially when because VB was the ultimate counter to him. So, you know, that's just the way the game is. You know, you get one character a few months down the line, you get another character that just counters them, completely shuts them down. But looking at one of the characters I want to place on here, well, not place. Sorry guys, I'm slurring over my words. It's pretty early in the morning for me. But Ultra Rose, we're gonna put him in the A tier list because, for the simple fact that, as just toxic, because when it comes to like debuffs, paralysis, poison, bleed, this guy is worse than Janemba when it comes to just debuff effects. But as horrendous as it is, he's been pushed out the meta for some time now. He just doesn't have that oof to just compete as much. And you look at Future, right? With their recent buff being what, LF Cell, Ultra VB, you know, those are probably the most recent. And we did also get what, Trunks' Zenkai last year. Rose, this guy was something similar to Janemba in a way. Besides the debuff effects, this guy was an offensive powerhouse. Unique gauge with the ability to get up to 3 ultimates, I think, with him. I believe I could be wrong, but he could be. I think he was the first to have. Well, no, not the first. I'm lying. I think that was Ultra Super Gogeta that had that ability to get more than 1 ultimate. But yeah, this guy was a powerhouse. Green card kills 2 of your enemy's cards, and I believe it gives you a blue card or a strike card. And then he had that blue card, which was, like I mentioned, just insane. You got poison, paralysis, all these different effects, all these debuffs, and like I said, he's been pushed out because there's a lot of units that can counter that, or they're just immune to paralysis, or, you know, the poison effects and all that stuff. But he did have some access to some pretty good equips. I believe he did get his own, you know, unique equip. But this one, it was alright. You know, this was more just to help him a little bit on defense. But it really didn't. But he has some pretty solid equips. Looking at the list down here. But as far as that goes, you know, that's where I'm going to rank him. I'm going to leave him in A tier. And looking at, what should we do? Broly. Broly has to go down here. There's no words that I can explain that when Broly got released, because he was doing that powerful opponent campaign, he had this just like effect where he can eat damage. He just wants to eat damage just to fill up that unique gauge constantly, right? Because I believe his unique gauge is able to refill what, up to about 3 or 4 times. Let's look down here. Yeah, it literally says it right here, 4 times. So my problem with Broly is, you know, they made him a defensive unit. The issue is they gave him no endurance. They gave him no debuff to like the art power for like strike cards, blast cards, special move. He had none of that. He had all these defensive mechanics, and then they tried to make him pretty, I guess, offensive by giving him that I believe I passed it up with his unique gauge where he's constantly reducing that key, you know, and then he's destroying cards, he's reducing your key, taking away your advancing gauge, all this stuff, you know. But the issue is with that, I don't really enjoy when you get, you know, nullify special cover changes on one of those like idle type of situations, because then you have to create yourself a way to get a combo going. If not, it's just a waste. You know, you have to just switch out, and it's pretty much just a waste. Green card, like I mentioned, this was that he's restoring vanish. He's inflicting no switching. You know, this was pretty powerful, no switching. He's getting that vanish back. He's stealing the main abilities, etc., etc., right? Blue card was pretty solid. Look at the blast. I mean, not the blast, but the damage. And then you got the ultimate damage, and he had that 30% chance to inflict faint. So, thing is, Broly just, as much as they wanted to give this guy, like, you know, some solid offensive mechanics, he just didn't. It wasn't working out. And then when it came to defensive, once he got pushed out the meta, it wasn't great for him either. Like I said, he had no endurance. He had none of this stuff going for him. No debuff to, you know, power arts. You know, obviously he's reducing ki. He's taking away advantage, destroying cards, but that's when his unique gauge fills up. So he's constantly having to take hits after hits. Then he did also get this unique equip to go with him. This was actually really good for him. You know, giving that health, that defense, and then that pure defense to Saiyans. But besides that, he deserves to be at the bottom. That's where we're gonna leave him at. Now looking at, you know, with Super Vegito, with him, as much as I love Vegito as a character, man, he's obviously better than them, but he's like in between. So I'm gonna just say, for the benefit of the doubt, B+. Vegito was kind of in the same situation with Broly when it came to getting that, you know, special cover change nullification, because I believe right here, yeah, so he had, you know, obviously he had the counter and all that stuff, and this was the only time that he was able to get, you know, cover change nullified. And it's, I don't know, it's like, for some reason I don't understand. You know, the counter is cool, but why give him that? Instead you can just give it to him on the green card, which they didn't really do, I don't believe. All it does is make you go type neutral, and then you can pretty much just combo with any card, you draw a card, all that stuff. The plus thing that he did have was he did have endurance. And then he also was able to, if we go back down here, yeah, he was also stacking damage. Well, not stacking, but he had that sustained damage up effect for each strike card that he did use. So that was something that they gave him as a, you know, a pretty good offensive mechanic. His ultimate hit like a truck. Like, I remember guys were literally giving this guy equips that buff special move or ultimate damage, because his ultimate, he literally, it was insane, especially back then, right? You know, the guy, obviously it killed endurance, and then it goes type neutral if you had a defeated battle member. So that was the key thing for a lot of people using him back then. You know, he had the counter and all that stuff. He had all this damage going. It made you seem like he didn't really have a defensive mechanic. I mean, not defensive mechanic, but he wasn't really a defensive unit. It seemed like he was more of just, they just put defensive unit and then he's just an offensive unit just hiding under that title of defense. But he had some pretty solid equips to go with. He had this equip right here that he got. Pretty solid. Like I said, that special move and ultimate damage was key for him. And then he also had this one, I believe, for Majin Saga. Double defense, strike attack, and key recovery. He had some pretty solid ones. And he also had this one, which was a really good one that a lot of people used. That blast attack, strike attack, special move, and then also ultimate damage with a little bit of health. So this guy, he definitely, you know, on release, he was great. He was awesome. But I feel like at the time, right, it's the same thing for a lot of these characters. The meta just catches up to them. They don't have, you know, mechanics in their kits anymore to keep up. Even if they do give them plat equips, they can't keep up as much, right? There's only so much you can do for them. That's why we have zenkais, which I feel like they should probably start, you know, zenkaiing the free to play ultras eventually, you know, hopefully, right? Ultra Super Gogeta, while we're talking about you know, just ultras. Now, if we're looking at, obviously, for this year, he's gonna go over Vegito for me. This guy was a one of a kind, you know, very first ever, you know, summonable ultra. Like I was mentioning earlier, he was the first ultra to be able to get more than one ultimate card when he has a defeated, two defeated battle members. He draws that ultimate, and then also his unique gauge. I believe it gave him, I could be wrong, but I gotta make sure. Yeah, it gave him a special move card, and this special move card was actually insane because it killed your entire hand. If you scroll down here, destroys all enemies' cards on hit. So yeah, that was insane. Like I've seen so many people come in a good situation or come back from a bad situation, and you know you kill their entire hand, so you have to, you know, they have to just sit there. And then his ultimate hit pretty hard, killed endurance on hit. Green card was solid, key, strike damage, gave you cover change notification, which I don't understand why they didn't do that for Vegito or Broly. They literally gave it to them based on their unique gauge, right? So, like I said, this guy was pretty good on release. Yeah, well, now he has a lot of equips, especially plat equips. But I don't believe, well, actually no, he had this one. This was the one that he had around the time he got dropped. So this was really solid for him back then. But as far as right now in today's meta, he's not competing. He's definitely not competing. You know, he's aged pretty well for a while, but you know, time to hang it up. Now, we'll look at Hit. Hit is definitely going there in that Z tier list. Actually, I don't know. It's like Hit. This guy's value is up. It's way up, you know. So, and with Hit, I never summoned for him, you know. But him having that time skip for his unique ability, stopping time once you pop that green card, once his unique gauge is filled, and then I believe, what else did he have? He's also stacking damage on strike cards. Green card, like I mentioned, once your unique gauge is filled, you get that time skip. Then in the time skip mode, it was pretty much a guaranteed kill. So this guy was kind of like the UI Goku 1.0, right? He was kind of like a snipe character if you were able to get that time skip off, because, you know, I think it was you could hit him with 2 cards and then pop the ultimate and bam, they're dead. And his critical rate is off the charts. Like, he has this thing in his kit where he's constantly getting critical rate, I believe, every time he either uses a card or enters the battlefield. Somewhere in here, yeah. So every time he uses an arch card, he gets plus 3% crit rate. That's 30% because it activates 10 times. So yeah, this guy, there's nothing much to be said. You know, for some people he might be in the Z tier list. I feel like he probably should, but then again, while he was also pushed out the meta for a minute, and he also does get that additional damage to blue units. So that is pretty good for him as well. And he also has that universal, you know, cover change. Same thing with him. Like most of these units, like I'm going to show you guys, got a plat equip on their release. That double defense, special move, strike attack, health restore. So pretty solid. Hit was one of those, you know, his value right now is up, you know. So he's definitely, you know, I'm going to keep him in the Z league. There's no point in dropping him. I feel like he definitely, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna drop him. I think I'm gonna drop him just because his value is up now. But 4 months ago, he got hard countered, especially by Janemba. Same thing with VB. They got hard countered. Like Janemba is just a pure offensive house. Ultra, Vegito Blue. It's hard to pick. It's really hard. Yeah, you know what? Hit has to go here. I'm thinking about it, and it's like his kit is really solid. So I'm gonna put him there, but I'm gonna put him behind Gogeta. Gogeta definitely deserves to be in the Z League, in my opinion, right? Probably one of the better Agent Ultras, especially with his kit. Yeah, he's got that counter to blast arts, to blast blue cards once his unique gauge filled. You know, he takes a couple hits. His he has a lot going on. He's one of those slow starters. By the time you get to 60 timer counts, you're gonna get that additional special move damage, ultimate damage, you know, and other stuff. And you get card draw speed, I believe, level 2. Yeah, so once 60 timer counts hits, this guy is insane. This guy, he's going off. He's making the impossible possible, right? Now also, one thing I love about this character as well that they put in his kit, he restores Vanish and he kills Endurance when popping the Rise of Rush. So therefore, even if you do get guessed, you still have your Vanish back. You can possibly get a PV or, you know, switch out. Now, going down here, trying to find it. His green card, I believe, so it gives you blue card, gives you damage, all that good stuff, and you also get special cover change notification. And then he also has this other effect where you can go type neutral for a certain amount of timer counts. So if you go type neutral after 60 timer counts, you're restoring 70% Vanish. And also, it's only for 5, but it still counts, right? His ultimate hits pretty hard, in my opinion. It cancels all of your buffs, your upgrades, and then his main ability also kills literally all your cards and reduces your key just to add a bonus on top. Like, it's insane. This guy aged so well with a lot of teams, titles from the movies. I believe this was his equip. Yeah, this was his equip for him and Broly. Really good equip. It's a pure equip for basically titles from the movies. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing left to be said about him. You know, the guy he's still him. You know, I mean, obviously you got UI out there, but UI is just, you know, I mean, it's insane how broken that character, how broken he literally is, because literally nullifies cover changes. It doesn't matter if you have a special cover change, it nullifies. And then, you know, on top of his, you know, his unique gauge with him being able to dodge, he also, if I'm not mistaken, he doesn't counter like the other MUI, but he does nullify like strike arts and blue cards that are strike orientated when you charge towards him. So you're not doing any damage. He doesn't have to sidestep anything like that. And also, he does get this other effect where if you pop an ultimate, Rise and Rush, he's restoring health. He's taking all your ki. And then he also shortens substitution count by 5. He takes away your Vanish as well, and he powers that ultimate down by 50%. So he could very well tank it as well. And then he does type neutral for 5 timer counts. Just keep that in mind as well. And then on clashes, I also want to mention that it doesn't matter if he wins or loses. If he wins, he's comboing you. If he loses, you don't get a combo. That's literally end of the discussion right there. And then he also has something else dealing with his this right here. So when he evades, he gets a green card, and then he also nullifies that reduced key, and he shortened allies substitution count by 1. So if your unique gauge is full, I believe you can dodge. You should be able to dodge 3 attacks because it uses up 30%. And then he also gets another ultimate card. So he has a chance to get 3 ultimates. A lot of, you know, recent ultras have that, especially Janemba as well. This guy literally gets it off when he nullifies your special cover change. And then if he has, you know, 2 defeated battle members, he gets that as well. And then he's also inflicting no switching. So, like, I mean, he's literally the definition of a snipe character. Like I mentioned with Hit, except this guy, he just has overpowered stuff in his kit. He gets cover change notification on green card, get health blast card. It's insane. And then he restores his unique gauge by 70% when you use his ultimate. So yeah, you know that, and that's not even the majority of it. That's just about half of it, if I'm being honest. I mean, he did get this with him as well when he dropped. Pretty solid. Double defense, ultimate damage, 38% to blast attack. And yeah. So that's pretty much going to be it for today's video, because all these guys, I'm not even going to, for all these free-to-play ultras, right? For me personally, I'm going to throw it out there. They have to eventually implement some sort of zenkai, at least for the free-to-play ultras, because you know when these guys dropped, yeah, they were good, but I mean that was a long time ago. So yeah, just for them to get up to date to compete in the meta, they need to be zenkai. Some of them have platypus, but it's not, like I said, platypus help, but they're not going to save a unit from being bad. It only helps as a temporary boost. So let's just keep that in mind. But pretty lengthy video. I'm gonna drink some water after this. Man, my throat's killing me. But hope you guys enjoyed. This is where I'm gonna stand on this tier list. I'm really deciding if I should have put Hit in S, but I gotta respect Hit because, you know, the guy, especially his crit rate is crazy. So yeah, that's what we're gonna leave it off at on this tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know where you would put some of these units or how your tier list would be. But as always, everyone have a blessed day. It's your boy JB. I'm out.